Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We are going to be looking at a very interesting list that has been piquing a lot of interest for Nova grapplers from Yamato VGCS, which is a tournament in Japan. It was a team tournament, 53 teams, 159 total participants, of course. And this Nova list came on the second place team, went 6-2 as its total win record, and it was teamed with a 2-6 Asura player and a 6-2 OTT player. So it did not get carried. That's the important takeaway. This is, of course, after the new promo pack has come out for Japan, which will be dropping for us at the start of August, and is before the release of EBO2. So, what is, of course, very interesting about this list, beyond just the new promos, which everyone knew would be very impactful for Novas, help them out quite a bit, is the grade 3 lineup in particular, and how this build is very obviously built around Asura Kaiser. Now, this is something that I predicted from pretty early on in my Nova breakdowns. Like, it was very obvious from early on that Perfect Riser had a big weakness in how much CV it consumed, and the ability to damage deny, even if it meant losing your grade 2 Vanguard attack, hindered them so much and allowed your opponent to get such a leg up on you that it was just completely devastating. However, Asura Kaiser here did not have that issue. And by running high grade 2 or greater counts, we can enable this to get us at least one free restand on the majority of turns. The chance of getting a grade 2 or greater with this lineup, which is 12 grade 3s and 11 grade 2s. So we come out to an over 70% chance of hitting one of those grade 2 or graders on any given twin drive, which means like that's obviously very high. And we're able to maximize that potential with the use of Maximum Riser. That is the other big purpose of running so many grade 3s. Because what this allows us to do is we still have our 8 gift grade 3s. So we're not like these Maximum Risers that we're running is not hurting our capacity to get on an Excel gift grade 3 that would screw us over. That's the typical thing that would screw us over with Maximum. We still have our 8. Our chances there are not really hurt. But we get to max these Maximum Risers so that we're seeing them with very high frequency, since they are really fantastic restand target for Asura Kaiser. That should really go without saying. It's pretty obvious that that's the case. Yeah. The other thing that you have over Perfect Riser is that frees up your Counterblast to allow you to utilize Burst Riser. So these two cards that you really get to bring out the usefulness of. We still have the 2 Perfect Risers in here because later stages of the game we can ride into it and then abuse it, because our opponent is going to be going, okay, they're on Asura Kaiser, I'm not going, damage denying them isn't going to do anything. So I need to go for the kill, and they're going to give you damage, and now you'll be able to go into Perfect Riser if that situation pops up. And Battle Dwarves, of course, is here as extra attackers. Yeah, a lot of the list is very simple from there. Grade 2 lineup to max burst because you want that. And then we get into our first of the new promos, which is King of Sword, which is very, very potent if we have 5 units, which includes our Vanguard. This allows us to Soul Blast 1 to give plus 5k to 2 of our units, which is 2 stages on our board, and that's really, really potent. Even normally, especially against Excel and Protect clans, that Soul Blast 1 to give 2 things plus 3k can be pretty dang potent. Especially particularly against the Excel clans, because both like if we're fighting another Nova player or fighting an Aquaforce player, both players' hand are going to be relatively low as we try to rush each other down. Yeah, Iron Killer is of course there as extra good attackers. High powered risers there are 2 because it's our only way to get pluses to our board, so that's pretty great. Grade 1 lineup, very simple. Riser custom for those restand stuff. Strut Riser because it's one of the only competent grade 1s we have. And then the other promo, which really helps against Protect. Queen of Heart, which is just restand once per turn when your opponent guards with a Sentinel. So all those Sentinels that your opponent is getting from their Protect gifts are basically useless because they're going to give you a free new attack. Because basically the concept is you slap this Queen of Heart on an Excel circle, it swings for 17. Maybe you even buff it up to 22 using King of Sword, and that's now a big threat to your opponent. And if they use a Sentinel at all, it's going to be swinging at them again. And, you know, that kind of screws them over in some pretty major ways. And the last big thing about this list is that it runs 8 crits over 8 fronts. Now, this was the thing that I didn't really understand when initially looking at the list. So for that purpose, I ended up, during my stream yesterday, I ended up testing it out. And off stream, I did some more testing of it. So basically, the concept is very simply that you want your Vanguard to have pressure on its attack. Because your primary Vanguard is Asura Kaiser instead of Perfect Riser, which possesses that on-hit ability. You don't really have any on-hit ability, and your opponent can just go, okay, I'll just take this. I'm only going to be taking 1 damage. So having these crits here gives your Vanguard pressure and forces your opponent to give out more guard. And then you can pass this to like your Burst Riser or your Maximum Riser or whatever, and now it's hitting for big numbers with a crit. And with the big numbers that you're hitting with Maximum Riser and King of Sword and stuff like that, you don't really need the fronts. The fronts are kind of unnecessary. Sure, they can neutralize the damage trigger, but having that extra damage potential with the critical triggers is just better in the overall long run. And if you're in a scenario where you have a very limited amount of board, then crits, of course, perform way better than fronts ever will. I think that's all there really is to talk about with this list. It's very interesting, and from how I've played it with it, it's very good. Bumps up Novas quite a bit, and I'm very excited to see my predictions regarding Asura Kaiser come to fruition. I love running for Maximum Riser without being punished in any way for that, so it's really fantastic. If you enjoy videos like this covering the Japanese format and what's topping, I've been gathering a lot of data starting with EBO2 from Japanese Twitter, and what I plan to do is every week on Friday I'll be releasing a video covering what's happening that week in the Japanese format with all the tops and stuff, breaking down how each deck is doing and their representation in tops and all that sort of stuff. So if you'd like to see that, be sure to subscribe, and this is Hunter Surge signing off.